So this is Titus. He is a 5-year-old South-Steens gelding. And so he's actually been in domestic life for about a year or two now. He's had about 5 rides over the past year. He's had the last several months off. And so he's just kind of getting restarted, getting back into work. And so this is just kind of like his second ride back this spring. And so I'm just going to start out with some groundwork exercises. This is one of my favorite. So what I have here is I'm lunging him, but then I also have a rope attached to his stirrup. And so this just gives me a little bit of control of being able to flap that stirrup around while he's moving forwards. And so this is something I like to do with some of my Mustangs that might be a little bit more reactive. We've already done the stirrup exercise up close with this horse a lot, where I'm just standing next to him flapping his stirrup. And so this is kind of the next step for him. Is so like while he's moving around, what does he do if that stirrup flaps? Is he gonna bolt, buck, freak out? He did that really nice, didn't seem to care. And so now I'm going to the next step that's a little bit harder. Again, I've done a lot with this horse, and so we're kind of moving right into this more difficult exercise. And that's where it's going to be on the outside. The stirrup's going to flap on the outside of the circle. So instead of him being the stirrup on the inside flapping that's closest to me, the one on the outside is. And this can kind of freak him out because he's seeing me on his right eye, but then the stirrup's flapping on his left. And so this is something I just like to test out with some of my Mustangs. Just see like how can you handle the pressure of this stirrup moving around while you're trotting around. And you can see he gets kind of tense. He kind of has to look at it a little bit, but he settled out really nice. Didn't do anything concerning. He really likes to try and reverse directions, so I just keep putting him back, get him out of my space. He's one, he kind of likes to come on top of you a little bit. And so just teaching him that personal space, respecting my area, that kind of thing. So now I'm going to get it readjusted. We're going to hook it up to the other stirrup, do this exercise the same way, the other direction, and then we'll get to riding. But this is just kind of one of the boxes I like to check with some of these green Mustangs, just making sure that they are completely comfortable with the random things flopping around, that they're not going to have any like red zone moments where, or if I by accident move my leg, they're going to take off bucking or bolting or anything silly. So basically this is just a little like precaution for me, making sure that when I'm clumsy, he knows how to handle that pressure and doesn't freak out. So we're going to throw it over his back now, do it on the offside, and then he'll be ready to go. So I'm just going to retie it here. I think it got a little loose. But this horse is doing so nice. He kind of has like this nice calm demeanor, isn't super reactive, has a little bit of cocky attitude. He needs to learn how to kind of respect my space. But other than that, he's doing really well, really coming back into work nicely. So the plan for him is to get him going really nicely under saddle, and then he's going to join the trail string at Stonewater Ranch where they have summer camps. And so I'll be riding him for this summer, me and my sisters, and then hopefully we'll start getting some of the staff and kids on him next year. And so you can kind of see here that stirrup coming up on that right side was a little bit nervous for him. You can see he kind of likes to scoot forwards. And this is why I like to do this exercise, because we're able to work through some of these spooky, ticklish areas without me actually having to be on his back. So that's going to keep me a lot safer than if I was moving that leg and he starts freaking out while I was on his back. So I just like to kind of pick it up. I'm not doing anything obnoxious. I'm just pulling it up and then letting it fall back down. So it's not hurting him or anything. He's just getting used to that flap, seeing that come up on that offside, and he did really well. And I love how like just when I lower my energy, he immediately comes back to a walk. He really just wants to hang out. Isn't super sensitive. Really, really nice mind on this Mustang. Such a cool horse. You got some good looking shoes. And I absolutely love this horse's markings. That little blaze on his face is adorable with a little bit of white in his mane. Couple socks. Really cute looking horse. And so I just love to hear he's got a nice soft eye. Seems pretty chill. Seems very happy to be working. And so we're going to start getting prepped to go ahead and hop on, put that ride on him. And so just checking my girth. I'm going to go ahead and tie up my lead rope on his halter. And so I just like riding in a rope halter for these first couple rides. This is just, they already know how to give to pressure on the halter. They don't quite know what the bit is yet. And so I find doing these first couple rides just in the halter kind of takes away having to learn about the bit. It's a lot easier for them to understand. So just now only I have to focus on teaching them leg cues, since they already know how to give to the pressure on that halter and have the basic steering. So I like to do a little bit of backup, checking in that he's being nice and soft off that halter, making sure I've got my lead rope tied up nice, because one of the worst things that can happen is that you don't tie up your lead rope nice and then it kind of pops while you're riding, which is never a good thing on a young colt. And so just rubbing on him, going ahead and just making sure that he's okay with me being up there. Step down, give him some praise, make sure I do everything on the offside as well, that he's bending that head around nicely. He's okay with me hopping up there. And you guys can see I'm a bit more clumsy this direction. We always hop on from the left side, and so I'm not as coordinated on the right. Something I need to keep working on. And so just checking all my boxes. Gonna go ahead, hop on, and we are gonna get to riding. I, again, love this horse's brain. He's really nice and relaxed, really nice and calm, really paying attention. And so we're just going to start moving him up into his little walk, let him kind of cruise around here.
He didn't like me giggling
and
at him.
kind of the objective for today is to get him trotting a little bit more. So we started trotting. He's been trotted, but then yesterday's ride, we just did a little bit of trotting. Mostly I was working on him staying relaxed since he's had so much time off. But then this is his second ride back this week, and so I am going to start kind of moving him up into that trot. I want him to hold it a little bit longer, and we're just going to see how he goes. But he's cruising around here at this nice walk. Again, you can see he's got a nice soft eye. He doesn't really care what we're doing. He's following the rail nicely. So we're just going to push him into that lovely little jog. Again, this horse is so cute. What a good boy. Practicing a little halt. Give him a little bit of praise. And we're going to move right back on up. And so you can see there, he got a little bit sticky. So I just kind of used the end of my lead rope to kind of push him up. And there we're going to go up into our trot. And so whenever we're trotting, I try and just sit really quiet. So I'm not going to be nagging him with my legs. I'm just going to kind of ride in what I call a neutral position, meaning that I'm just going to sit there. I'm not going to worry about steering, not going to worry about keeping him moving forwards. I'm just going to be a nice, quiet passenger. And then if he stops, I'll add some leg or whatever I need to do to keep him going. So right here, practicing a little halt. And I just held the pressure on that lead rope until he stopped. Then I immediately loosen and give him praise. So just rewarding anytime that he gives me the right answer. You can see there he took a nice deep breath. And so now we're going to reverse directions and head off the other way. And this horse is just such a cute boy. And so there we're moving up into our trot, going the other direction. Again, I'm going to try and sit just nice and quiet, letting him move forward freely. What a really nice trot here. So he's being nice and consistent. Nice and relaxed. I'm adding in a halt. So I'm just picking up on that rein till he stops his feet. Give him praise. Tell him he's such a good boy. And really, I want this horse to understand what I'm asking. So if I add leg, I want him to know that means go forward. If I pick up on the reins, I want that to halt. And it's really my job as his rider to give him the best possible first rides that I can. So making sure that I'm staying relaxed in my body. I'm praising him anytime he gives me the correct answer. I'm not frustrating him too much. And so just trying to give him a really good experience on these first couple of rides. You can see here, added leg, picked up the trot, moving around. I'm adding in a little bit more steering, so a little bit of that inside rein. We're going to kind of start introducing that a little bit, but really nice here. Again, he looks like a little broke ranch horse already. Such a nice little trot, so relaxed. Really nice halt there. I just barely picked up and he stopped his feet. Got some really nice licks and shoes. He's really starting to figure this whole thing out. And so I really liked where that ended, so I decided to hop off, give him a lot of praise, and then we're going to call it there. And what I found with these Mustangs is just like finding a good place to end. You don't have to have a super long ride. Just find a good spot, call it there, and make it a positive experience.